Hello everyone and welcome to a new piano lesson. If you are here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda, your piano teacher. If you want to find out more about me, feel free to watch the introduction video of this channel. I'm leaving the link in the description of this video. Now let's go to our lesson today. Is about O Susanna. Is exactly page 8 on the John Thompson, The Easiest Piano Course, Part 2. What is the most amazing thing that is happening today in O Susanna? Is about changing finally a little bit the position of the left hand on the keyboard, and not only of the left hand. So you have discovered that, for example, in the previous pieces you have discovered about the quavers, the half counts. Today we are finally moving the left hand, so instead of having the little finger on the F, finally we are moving from the F to the G. Again, in the past we had the little finger on the F and the thumb on the middle C. Now we are taking the left hand in block and shifting, moving one simple step to the right. In this way we have little finger on G, fourth finger now on A, third finger on B, second finger on C, middle C, and thumb on D. I know that for many of you will be a kind of big change, yeah? But we have to do now our best, even more, to memorize the name of the notes on the stave, to learn the position of the notes on the stave, because there is no more relation, strict relation between finger and note. In the past I was always saying to everybody, that to all my students, that thumb means middle C, to make it easy obviously, second finger B and blah 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 and so on. From now on it's not possible anymore. We have to definitely learn how to read the notes and how to connect these notes to the new fingering, let's say, yeah? Obviously it's not the only news, because I was saying you're also moving a little bit the right hand thumb from the middle C to the B. What does it mean? That you are also going to discover two ways of writing D and B. So, this is the D that you have always found in the past below the first line of the treble clef stave of the right hand stave. This is the D, yeah? And this is exactly the same D on the keyboard. This is exactly this one. If this is the middle C, this is the D we are talking about. So this can be either this now or this one. This is written in treble clef, in the, let's say, in the clef for the right hand, to make it easy and simple for everybody. And this is the same key, the same D, but written for the bass clef stave, for the left hand stave, yeah, the bottom stave. You see that as a small line. To many of my students I've always explained one thing, that is time to understand the real meaning of that small line in the head of the middle C. If you, for example, you imagine that these, I'm taking a pencil, yeah? If you imagine that this one is the line of the middle C, the line that was in the head of the middle C, imagine that my head is the circle, yeah? So I am middle C now. If I go up, I am now D. If I go down, I become B. I know that is a funny explanation, but I think that it makes sense. And look now again. So if I go up, I become D. You see that my head, the circle, has a small line in the throat. If we go now to the stave again, you see that this is, imagine that this small line is the pencil. That's why you get that line. That line, imagine that is stable. It's stable in the middle, in between the two staves, the right hand stave and the left hand stave. And that's why you find hit below the circle. And same as what will happen now with the B. Now I'm going to play for you the O Susanna. I will play always from now on at the normal tempo, let's say a kind of official tempo, fast tempo we might even say, and again at a very slow tempo. Remember also that we are starting on the fourth count, exactly like you have discovered in the previous piece, Through the Wood. So now I'm going to play O Susanna, first of all at a kind of fast tempo, just to give you an idea of how it should sound, could sound. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 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 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. I want to clarify a few important things. First of all, you see, as you can see, also Susanna is starting on the fourth count, and since he's starting on the fourth count, he's ending with a bar made of only 3 counts. Why is this the fourth count? If you see that there is the bar line, obviously the closest block of notes or count to the bar line is obviously the last one, the fourth. Why is this the fourth? Because we are in a 4-time signature. We have 4 counts in every single bar. Then, the most important practical thing to keep in mind is that since we have now the left hand moved up to the right, 1 step, 1 position, with the little finger on the G and the thumb on the D, obviously there is only one practical problem, that you will have the feeling that you are crossing the thumbs. So, having the second finger on the D, you will have also the thumb of the left hand on the D, yeah? If you come closer, thank you very much. So, we will have the second finger of the right here and also the thumb of the right on the D. And you can place the right hand thumb just below the left hand thumb, so underneath. In this way, as soon as you finish to play these 4 notes with the left hand, as I usually like to say, you can open the gate a little bit. Imagine that this is a gate, you leave a bit of space, enough room for the right hand to place the thumb on the B that will be finally played also by the right hand thumb. Now, in practice, in a slow motion, will be 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you carry on. Now I will play the whole one slowly, as I've already said. Will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. I think that once you know that you have to start on the 4th count once you have understood finally that there is no more strict relation between the notes on the stave and the keys, once you have got also that we can write finally the D that you have discovered in the beginning of Thompson 1, also in this way, and also the B that you have also discovered in the beginning of Thompson 1, this is the old B, the B that you know since ages now, you can write also in this way. Once you have discovered this, and once you know that you have to place, obviously, so the thumb, the left hand thumb on the D will be shared finally now by the second finger of the right and the thumb of the left. And once you know that the B will be played once, for example, by the third finger of the left and once by the thumb of the right, there is not that much that you have to know now. Remember to open the gate, like I like to usually say, when you finish when you play, after you play the first four notes, you simply open the gate. In this way you have enough space for placing the right hand thumb. I think that there is nothing else to mention today. It's enough. I hope you really understand everything. Feel free to comment, to ask me things, and I will be definitely happy to help even more. Thank you very much for today. All the best. See you.